And we're live from Stockholm, Sweden, with another round report from round 4 of Rilton Cup. And today was a dark day for Sweden. But for our Norwegian neighbors, congratulations! And congratulations to Magnus Carlsen for winning the World Championship in Blitz. Yeah, that was a fantastic performance, and I need to admit that it was hard following Rilton Cup during those tie breaks with Nakamura. Oh well. So, first, we need to remind everyone that you can still register for the Rilton 1800 and the Rilton Blitz on the 3rd of January. And of course, on the 1st of January, there's a free lecture with Milos Pavlovic on the second floor in the Scandic Continental at the playing venue. You're all welcome. So, let's get right into it. So, first we have a look at the results from round 4. And now you can see why it was a dark day for Sweden. Unfortunately, both Khan, Kushkuksari, and Tiger Hillar Persson lost their games on board 1 and 2. So that was very unfortunate. But there's one light here in the, one shining star. Milton Pansar won on board 5 against Kaido Kulaut. Erik Blomqvist drew his game, and so did Juan Bion. And I was thinking we were going to first have a look at Khan's game, and then we're going to skip Tiger's game. But we're going to check Milton's game, and then we're going to check what Erik did in the end of his game. So that's the plan. Let's start with Khan. Here we have it. So I think Khan seems to have an issue with his openings, because today he got in a worse position as white again, or a worse position in the opening. So let's just go a few moves, and then here this is starting to look like a Cambridge Springs, but instead of having the queen here, you usually have the knight on c3. And I actually looked a little bit in the opening books here, and I kind of like black already. I think how it played out with knight c3 and e4, I'm already starting to feel that white has some issues. As we will see now, the knight is attacking this bishop, and you want to move that one. And then Urkedal had this in his pocket, g5, which seems to have very good statistics for black. The bishop needs to move, and let's see, what is the idea? It's a pawn sacrifice, but it only looks that way, I believe, because if you take it, I think you can take it and take here, threatening the queen and the bishop, or whatever piece is standing on that square. So instead, Khan played bishop g3, h5, and now there's a threat here of going h4, and then if bishop goes to e3, maybe you can play f6, and this bishop is running out of squares. And Khan decided to play h4. I think the main move seems to be h3 actually, as we will see why. So the idea is that I think with h3, black doesn't get to play g4 and pushing away this knight from f3. Alright, but let's see. Takes, and here we have some really ugly pawns for white. So I already like black a lot, but I think Urkedal, who played this very natural move, attacking this pawn, actually could have done even better with bishop h6, attacking this pawn instead. It's not so easy to know how you should do this, and as you can see, what happened in the game with bishop d6 was that Khan decided to just sacrifice this pawn and play castle queenside, which I don't think gives white some more counterplay. And if it's this pawn that is falling instead of this pawn, it's much better for black, because then black has a harder time breaking up the center. Alright, black played b5. White took on d5, which I think was correct, because you want to try to open up. That's where white can get counterplay now, because the pawn structure is so weak. You need to try to utilize that this king has no good hiding place in the long term. E takes d5, e4, b4, and here Khan played knight a4, which was a move I didn't like. And we can see in the games because of knight b6, knight takes b6, and then this a file is open with a rook and the queen and everything. Instead, I like the idea of knight e2, which looks a bit weird because you're closing in this bishop, but you're defending this pawn, and you're mainly threatening, let's say, black plays something like knight b6. Then you can perhaps get a position like this. And now these pawns are not so bad anymore, actually, and this knight is very strong. And of course, if black takes here, then you get what you wanted. You wanted to open up the center, so you can attack the black king. I don't know why he disregarded knight e2, but after knight a4, now white is doing much worse. Let's see what happened. Takes, e takes d5, c takes. And this, as you can see, this knight has no squares. It's a very sad piece. And we can just see what Khan tried to do. He had to give up the a2 pawn, so now he's has horrible pawn structure and is a pawn down. Check. And king b1, rook a7, rook e3, trying to protect his pawn, doubling up the rooks. The king gets out of the way and goes to f5 with check. King a2, rook takes e3, rook h6, gonna go to e8, but he's aiming to trade off these rooks and play with the bishop pair and the extra pawn. So bishop c3 attacking this pawn, rook e6 attacking the rook, and then knight f1. So the idea is you're protecting the rook, and if trade, you're at least getting this pawn in exchange for these pawns. And maybe you even have some kind of fork here on these two. But black instead protected the pawn and started aiming on the pawn on g2. And then Khan protected the pawn, but but this move loses immediately to bishop b1 check, opening up this file again when the rook is unprotected, and Khan resigned. So the opening was bad, and when there was this b4, he didn't go for knight e2. I think that was the knight a4 was the beginning of the end. Unfortunate, but maybe he will do better tomorrow. Then let's check at Milton's game, because Milton did a great job today. of winning his game. And we're gonna fast forward to, I think it was move 11 or something. Yes, here. No, 13, yeah. F3, attacking this knight. So what's going on in this position? White gave up this white light square bishop for the knight on c6, destroying the black pawn structure on the queen side. And has also one pawn more. But yeah, I think Kaido was hoping for some kind of attack here against the white king. And Kaido played queen d3, ignoring the threat on g4, but creating his own threat on c4. And Milton decided to take what was given here on g4. And then, quite surprisingly, I didn't take the knight, instead took back the pawn, opening up the file for this rook, and I think hoping to get both of these bishops in play, and is really trying to aim for the white king. But now black really has to prove that he has something, because otherwise he will just lose. Milton decided to protect the knight. Bishop c5, attacking the pawn. It is already guarded by the knight, so Milton decided to guard it with his queen as well. Bishop d5, causing some threats on this diagonal. If you could get the queen here, perhaps it's game over. But unfortunately, these knights are very good at defending. Let's see. Milton just needs to find a way to neutralize all of the threats. And I think he did a good job. So rook f2, protecting h2, also protecting g2, and perhaps opening up some squares here for the queen to try to exchange the queens, which would really benefit white. Rook h3, perhaps trying to, in some case, get another rook to h8. Just need to get the quick king out of the way. Queen e2, threatening the exchange of queens. Of course, black doesn't want to exchange queens. And then bishop b2, starting to get both the rook and the bishop into the defense, perhaps to d4. King e7, and exactly Milton played bishop d4. And now, after the trade, it's starting to feel like black doesn't have anything here. And that's more or less what happened. Milton just put his knight on this perfect defending square. Just need to still prevent the queen from going to this diagonal. And then trying to exchange the bishop. But now again threatening the exchange of queens, and the queens were exchanged. And from here it was easy for Milton to just create enough threats of his own. So let's say what could happen here if this bishop is attacked. Let's put it on a8. Perhaps e6 could come, and black is really suffering here. So if f6, then knight f8, and now it's all gone. So dubious sacrifice from Kaido, but of course good defense from Milton. Well done. Let's see, I just wanted to show the end of Erik Blomqvist's game. He drew his game today against Erland Mikkelsen, and it was a end game, I think around, so this end game should have been draw, but Erik got a chance here at move 64. And so black played here, trying to prevent the pawn from going to a6. So if white plays a6 now, then knight c5, which just picks up the pawn, and it's a draw. And in face of this, Erik played king b8, and after knight c5, the game ended in a draw. But here, Erik missed this fantastic move, bishop b4. And this is a very common pattern with a bishop against a knight, that you put the bishop like this, 3 squares away, or 2 squares away. And then you cover the squares for the knight, so it can't come closer. And what's important here is that it's not only keeping the knight away, the knight is perfectly placed on this diagonal, so that when the pawn goes to h1, it's not check. So all pieces are working in white's favor, because it's also this king. This king is now cut off by the bishop on these squares. So we can just see what happens if black starts running here and white starts. So here you can see the knight is in the way, there is no check, and now white has queen c8 mate, because this bishop is covering the dark squares. So quite an amazing move here. Bishop b4, and actually there is no defense now for black. White will just queen the pawn. So Erik Blomqvist missed this opportunity, and what Erland should have played in this position was knight e8, and then it can become draw in several ways. But let's see, if a6, for example, I think the idea is something like this, that you put the knight on c8, and then we just need to figure out what happens on bishop g3. I think h4. I think if we take that, then you have the same draw with knight c8. If you go here, can you? How do you get here? Or can you go here and then takes, and then you get queens with check, perhaps? Yes, and then you have the draw. So yeah, it was perhaps not easy to find, but I think Erik's bishop b4, it just comes to you. Not sure why he didn't see that. Oh well, unfortunately, so Erik Blomqvist missed half a point here. But oh well. Let's have a look at the pairings for the next round. So in the next round, we're gonna have here. So of course, the people with the full score, the Urkedal and Elshan Moradiabadi, are gonna play each other. Gonna be interesting. Milton is now on board 2, playing Arseniy Nesterov, Russian international master. Let's see, where do we have? We have Erik on board 7 against Anders Huber. Tiger is playing Bernat Mabras Serrarols. And Juan is playing Luis Ernesto Quesada Perez. And Khan is playing Macy's, from a well-known name in Sweden. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and just so you remember, tomorrow's round starts at 12, and so it's earlier. than usual. And once again, it's going to be Anna Kramling and Ulf Andersson who are hosting the live show. And I believe the live show moves Twitch channel to the main channel of chess.com. It's going to be amazing. So tune in tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Thank you.